Hey everybody, Dan with Stinger Chemical here with Oscar. Little detail talk today. We're just going to take a moment to talk about something I found kind of interesting in an article I just read on the detailing industry, and it was talking about how the detailing industry right now is a $20.2 billion industry. So we're talking detailing cars, boats, planes, everything. $20.2 billion. So that's a big chunk of money. So I wanted to bring Oscar into the studio because Oscar really is our expert on doing our business classes and the training, how to increase your profit, how to run your business better, all those different things. So knowing there's $20.2 billion out there, let's talk a little bit to Oscar about, what do you like to talk about in your trainings that you think is impactful? Because, training's an investment. You like to say that in your classes. I've heard you say it many times.
It definitely is. Yeah, training's an investment. I think the biggest thing talking to detailers here or on the road is getting them to understand the business. And I'll say this in every class. I can train anybody to detail a car, but to run a business is something else. And knowing how to run your business is very important. But I think one of the most important things that I like to drive to detailers is them finding their target market, them finding where that money's at. Just this week, I had someone say there's no money in Houston. Well, that's a lie. There's a lot of money in Houston. They just need to know where to go find that money. And I gave them the perfect example of to go to the Galleria. There's a lot of money there. I mean, you have designer stores there, so people are shopping there.
Yeah.
So there is money here. And by money, I mean that there is the right client, the right target market for detailers. And that's one thing I love to drive to the detailers is just to kind of expand their mindset and actually push them and challenge them to get out of their comfort zone and go out and find this money. Because when we teach classes, whether it's Connor, Zach, Bruno, or me, and we're talking about what you could be charging for these services, a lot of jaws are dropping. So there you say there's no way you can charge that. And it's and there is.
And I get stuck in these I shouldn't say stuck, but I go down the rabbit hole of these detailing Facebook groups and things like that. And most everybody in these groups, it's all about how much am I charging? How much am I making? It's generally, you run across one here or there that says, what product should I use for this? Or I've got this problem. Super valuable to have that information available and to be able to bounce it off people. But let's face it, if you don't run the business correctly, I don't care if there's $20.2 billion. If you don't run your business correctly, you're not going to be in business very long. You guys are, you're small business owners. Sometimes it's just you, sometimes it's a shop of small people, but hopefully at some point you grow into a shop of big people and you're running a big business, So I think it's cool. Oscar came on, I think almost a year ago. Yeah, about a year ago. And one of the reasons that he came on board was the opportunity to really do things in that classroom like this. If you haven't seen the classroom, we'll show you, a clip of it now. But that's one of the reasons I saw that so much value in Oscar was I talk about product. I've been in this business for, a long, long time. And to me, it was always about product. I wasn't running a detail shop. Oscar still has a functioning detail shop. I still, he's doing things on the weekend for us and for his customers both. I don't think he ever sleeps actually. So it's pretty cool. And one of the things that's important I want you all to know is we have the videos, we have the live recordings. Check out our YouTube page. YouTube has all of our different videos on it, usually shortly after we do them. We do them live once a month. We do different subjects. So we really want to invite you into the Stinger Training Center, even if you're not in Houston, to learn things like what Oscar just said, because, what you said in the very beginning, it's true. So investment in training, investment in running your business, investment in tools to run your business. We cover all of that. You're not going to tune in and just hear, oh, if you don't use Stinger products, man, your business is going to go under, you're going to get a divorce, your kids are going to run away from home. That's not what we're here for. We're here to really try and help you guys, whether it's a process, whether it's money, whether it's insurance. How do you find the right insurance? How much insurance do you need? That's where this man comes into play because he really does have all that knowledge and he's been doing it all over the world. That's the cool thing about Oscar. He is trained literally all over the world. Next month, we're going to be in Mexico City, doing a trade show there.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun. So May 3rd and 4th, we are going to Mexico City to do the Detail Expo Mexico. And it's our first time doing it in Mexico. It's a 3-year-old show, I think. So I'm going to turn it over to Oscar to talk about it in Spanish because it's The Mexico Detail Expo.
Yeah. So I'll start off with the English, just like Dan said. We are going to Detail Expo Mexico, May 3rd and 4th. Como dijo mi patrón Dan, vamos a estar en la Ciudad de México, mayo 3 y 4, para el Detail Expo México, en el booth de Stinger. Vamos a estar puliendo un carro, vamos a tener todos los químicos de aquí de la fábrica. Ya mandamos todo con nuestro amigo Joe de Mexicali, que él ya está vendiendo, ya está mandando todo para la Ciudad de México. Y sí vamos a estar vendiendo los químicos en el expo.
I agree with everything that Oscar just said. He hit it right on the head. Way to go.
Yeah.
But hey, if you're out in Mexico City, come in, check it out. It's pretty cool. I mean, I've seen the show out. Our booth, we're gonna have a car, right? The whole car, not just half a car like we do at some of our trade shows. But that's a pretty cool thing coming up. So we want to just give that a plug. And obviously, Oscar just told all you guys about it. And I'm sure he just nailed that.
Same thing. Like I said, we're going to go out to support our distributor, Joe out of Mexicali, and we will be selling. The important thing about the show is that we will be selling Stinger products in Mexico during that expo. So we do sell while we're there. We'll be able to do testing on all our products. You can play with the products, and then you can go and purchase the products right there from the distributor.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. We're here to talk about something cool going on in Houston, the Shine Time Expo Luxury Detail Expo, and it is at, where's that?
It is at the Museum of Flight here in Houston, or actually Pasadena, which is a suburb of Houston. It's going to be June.
I thought it was a suburb of California.
Unfortunately,
isn't that a suburb of California?
Pasadena, California.
Yeah.
I think our Pasadena here in Texas is a little bit better.
Are you sure you're in the right state?
I think so.
All right. You're not.
No,
Right?
I'm not.
No, we're not. All right. So anyway, Zach, go ahead. And
It'll
finish
be
up.
June 7th and 8th. It is Saturday and Sunday. Feel free to come out. Stinger is going to be hosting the flight simulator, so feel free to come out and check out how to fly an airplane, on a simulation, and see everything that we have to offer, everything about airplanes, anything you can imagine to restore or help keep clean.
Yeah, and you're going to be doing that with Bruno.
I sure will. Bruno and I will be there, so you will have 2 Spanish speakers. If you speak Spanish and you have to detail a plane, be more than happy to take care of y'all guys.
Yeah. Oscar and I are taking that whole entire month of June off, actually. So thanks for doing that, guys.
Absolutely,
We really
yeah.
appreciate
Gotcha,
it. So,
definitely.
yeah. But anyway, so that's pretty cool. That's going to be June 7th and 8th. That's going to be at the Aviation Museum, Shine Time Expo Detail Luxury Show. You can Google it, find it on there. You're going to be supported by the ADA, which is Aviation Detailing Association. You're going to be supported by Detailers of the Roundtable. A bunch of different cool companies coming in, a bunch of different manufacturers, some training. So check that out. See what you think of that. And you'll have your Stinger team right over here, the Houston Stinger team.
Absolutely.
Zach and Bruno, there to entertain you.
Well, maybe have some cornhole out there too.
You gonna bring cornhole?
I think so.
Oh, well, that's
It's
awesome.
a nice weekend.
Play a little cornhole out there.
There we go.
Yeah, because June's not hot in Texas
At all.
So,
Perfectly fine.
all right. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. Now you know about that.
Thank y'all. See y'all there.